Hey there folks, John here, and it has been a while since I have done a video. I keep saying that a lot. But yeah, I mean, same old excuse as always. Work is, very unpredictable, and, also I just haven't really been able to get around to making any videos. Had a hard drive fail on me a few months ago and lost about 5 videos worth of footage, a couple videos that were already done, and so that was a little disheartening. And, so anyways, I just kind of have to get over that, and gonna keep making videos. But, as most of you guys know, it is Black Friday season, and I have another video I'm going to do on Black Friday itself. I'm going to be going out to Digital Press Games again in Clifton, New Jersey, again, and so be on the lookout for that. Should be interesting. Everything in the store, like literally everything, is 33% off. So that's systems and games and everything, so it should be pretty good. Also probably pretty crazy. So I'm gonna do that one, but in the meantime, my son and I have a tradition that we always go to Level 1 Games when we're up here visiting family. And so we're gonna go take that trip today and see how it goes. So I'm gonna have him with me. He's not in the car yet, as you can see, but he will be shortly. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna see what we find. So here we go.
Alright, so this is the start, obviously, their display case where all the good stuff is. NES, Super Nintendo, you get the idea. Down here you got a bunch of other stuff. PS2, you don't see Jade Cocoon 2 that often. That's actually a surprisingly valuable game. And then you've got, Sega Saturn, that sort of thing. And then your NES, Super Nintendo. You got Rumble Pack Mountain over here. And then you got just some DS games, that sort of thing. But right below it, you got something interesting. It is some TurboGrafx games, and you don't see nearly enough of those laying around. And then right next to it is this other thing. I meant to ask what it is, and I don't know, so write it in the comments if you know. But there's also the TurboGrafx that goes with those games down there. And, and there is our guest for this video. You'll see more of him later. You got your commons for NES and Super Nintendo down there. N64, mostly sports games. You also see some common boxed games as well in NES Advantage. And then I had to show this next part. It was requested specifically. This little Espeon here because it's from Japan. He thought it was cool. And then you got some collectibles and stuff. They actually have quite a few collectibles at Level 1 as well. You got this case here that's just full of them. And then up there's their sign. I actually really like their sign, so figured I would capture it again. And then you've also got a nice surprise when we came in. Didn't know, but 20% off all pre-owned games. Very convenient. And then my favorite thing that I found, they've just started stocking manuals. So you got the Rampage manual there. Not nearly enough places stock manuals nowadays, which is sad. But, Fax Xanadu, I don't think I ended up getting either of those. I kind of just pulled whatever interested me. And what's the next one? Oh yeah, this Nintendo Power. They got even those little inserts from Nintendo Power, which I just thought was fun. Burger Time manual as well. I did end up picking that one up. And then I found this little gem over here, but more on that later. I want to highlight one of my favorite things about this place, and that is the people. They are awesome. So I think my son's interactions with them about sums it up. So I'm going to let you listen to what's going on with him.
That's from Pokemon. What's the name?
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff.
Pikachu.
That's Ash?
Pikachu.
It's Pikachu.
Go ahead.
I got two new dog games. One is Nintendo and a Pokeball.
And a Pokeball. And what happened with that doggy game? What did they do?
They gave me it.
Yeah.
Because I'm being a good boy, I answered all their questions.
Yeah, they are
Ding, ding.
super nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a much better trip than I anticipated. As you saw there, the people at Level 1 Games are just absolutely fantastic people. And interestingly enough, first time I've ever actually been recognized in real life from one of my YouTube videos, so that was fun. They remembered the video that I did in there almost 2 years ago. I did it with our youngest son when he was a couple months old. We went in there, and yeah, I just did one of my normal pickup videos and just kind of went around the store. And I don't think that they really even knew I was doing it. I mean, I asked if I could film in there, but yeah, I walked in this time and she was like, "Are you that guy that you're the guy from the video?" I'm like, "What video?"
And she's like, yeah, you made a video about us. And you had, your baby with you and everything. You had a baby carrier. I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that video. So that was a pretty cool experience. And as somebody that's kind of slacked off on the YouTube thing lately, that was actually really encouraging. So that's fun. But yeah, we just had a really great experience in there. You go into these stores with small kids, and my son, he's 5, he's almost 6, and you end up getting all of the games that you passed over when you were, a kid and whatever, or that you would pass over as an adult because they're obviously like terrible games, but kids don't really judge it by whether they're good or bad or what the review score is. My son judges the quality of a game by how many dogs it has in it because he loves dogs. And so it's just really interesting to see, you end up having things on your shelf that you really never would have otherwise, and it's fascinating. There's actually a couple of little hidden gems I found by just the fact that he buys these like dog games that are like clearly targeted at children. Maybe I'll do a review on a couple of those one day. Just those like surprise like kids games that are actually kind of good. So video idea for the future. But anyways, back to the store, back to the pickups. So the lady who is in charge of it, and I really should have asked her name. So if you're watching this again, I'm so sorry. I really probably should have asked your name. I'll definitely ask it next time I go in there. But the she saw him, getting or choosing his doggy game for the day. And in case you're curious, waiting with bated breath, I'm sure. We settled on Puppy Playtime, which basically is where you can choose your dog, and there's a Dalmatian on the back, so it was an automatic win. And run it through like obstacle courses and stuff. So I mean, that's kind of cool, especially for a 5-year-old. He should be able to figure that one out on his own, and should have a pretty good time with it. So it's a Discovery Kids game, if anybody's curious. But anyway, yeah. So Puppy Playtime. Everything in the store, as you probably saw on the sign, was 20% off all the used games. So we got it for $4, which is great. So yeah, so that was fun. But she just really kind of took a liking to him and heard him talking about puppies. And so she goes, "Hey, come here. I got something for you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is interesting." I thought she was just going to give him like a sticker or like something like that, because you go in places, especially little independent places with your kids, and they give them stickers and that sort of thing or whatever. And so she gave him a copy of Nintendogs, which is really cool. Like, I mean, I we bought, we don't have this one, but we've got a couple other ones, and usually they're like $5 or whatever. Like they're not super expensive games, but just really cool that she saw this kid that just absolutely loved dogs, and she asked him what his favorite series was, and he said Nintendogs, and she's like, "Well, here you go." And that's why I love going to retro stores. That's why I love going to independent places. You'd never go into GameStop and have that happen, because they have to report all the stuff they sell and all the other stuff, and that's fine, and I get that. But you just don't get that kind of stuff, right? At chain stores. So that the independent thing is just awesome. So anyway, if you've never been to Level 1 Games, if you happen to be in New Jersey, you gotta check them out. They're a really great store. They also sell, and I don't think I really highlighted it much in that video, but they're super into like trading card games as well, like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and that kind of thing. And they have a whole like setup for it, for like tournaments and stuff. So they're not just video games. But anyway, it's just an awesome store, really great. So I just wanted to brag on them for a little bit. But I did get a couple other things. I didn't show it in the video, but I went ahead and picked up Burger Time, which I've been, this is one I've been meaning to pick up for like, gosh, ages. I don't even know how long. And so it was $9.99, which is about market value for this game. A pretty good price, and then 20% off that. I got it for $8. I'm totally cool with that. And then to go with it, I also found the Burger Time manual. And this is cool, right? A lot of retro stores, they don't have manuals, and dude, I have a massive freaking NES collection. I'm pushing like
almost 300 games in that thing. And the vast majority do not have manuals. And so to go in and have a place that actually sells manuals is amazing. And I love that. I think this one was $3, which is totally worth it to me. Because, you know, I also just love reading manuals. Manuals are super cool. Let's see, I actually haven't looked at the Burger Time one yet. Just the stupid little food things that chase Peter Pepper around. But, you know, you get fun stuff like that. Just, I love manuals. Manuals are awesome. And then I also got the manual for Bubble Bobble. And some of you guys may remember, if you've been a long-time viewer of the channel, several years ago I finally completed my Snake Rattle and Roll, which was one of the 2 first NES games I ever got. You know, and the box had gotten thrown away sometime in childhood, during, you know, when my mom threw a bunch of them away or whatever. Well, Bubble Bobble was the other first game that I got for the NES, and I've been looking for ways to complete that. And so now I have the manual, which has some tears in it, or not tears in it, but it has some folds in it, which honestly doesn't bother me. It's character, and I like character. I like things with a story. And speaking of stories, there's this cool little like comic in the front of Bubble Bobble. I don't think my camera's going to focus on it because I don't think the lighting's good enough. But you guys get the idea. So really cool stuff. You know, and again, this is just the reason that I love manuals. I think manuals are super awesome. So great to have this. Really happy because I want to complete that one day. And then lastly, you guys saw, I was actually done. I had checked out. We were ready to go, and I was just getting a little bit extra footage for the video. And I noticed she's going to put some Kirby games on the shelf, which I love Kirby. If you have watched my One and Only Theory video about how Kirby's actually the bad guy, I still believe that's true, but I still love Kirby games. And one of the linchpins of that theory is one of the little games in Kirby Superstar Ultra. And so I've been looking for like a good copy of this game for, I mean, years at this point. Ever since I first found out it was a thing, because I skipped this when it first came out for some reason. I don't know. I never knew it was there. So anyway, so I've been looking for this for so long, and this one is in great shape. And you see that you got that great metallic cover. Most of the time, if I come across one that's actually in fairly decent condition, it's like you know, $30-$35, something like that. I have come across them for, you know, $18-$19, but usually they're in crap condition with no manual. This is like pristine manual. So really a great find, and has all of the extras with it as well. And you can see them in there. So super happy to have this, and it's one of those ones that I've been looking for a while that I can now just check off the list. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but it was $18.99. And we got it for 15 something because of the 20% off, which was, again, super cool. 15 something, 14 something, I don't know, something like that. I don't want to do the mental math in my head right now. And so super happy with this trip. Actually, I ended up walking out of there with a lot more than I thought. Oh, and we also bought a plush Great Ball. You probably saw my son holding it in the video. But he is in bed now, hence the change of clothes. I'm now in my pajamas. But he's in bed now, and he's cuddling with the Great Ball, so I can't show you guys that. But anyways, so yeah, we got out of there for just a little bit under $40, and yeah, it was pretty cool. So I was really happy with the trip. So if you're ever in New Jersey, definitely check out Level 1 Games. They are a fantastic retro shop. Probably one of my, they've become one of my favorite shops to stop at. Which is convenient because they're very conveniently located to my wife's family. But beyond that, they're up there with Monster Games. You guys know how I feel about Monster Games. Monster Games in Virginia is just like awesome, and I think Level 1 Games has kind of gotten to that level at this point. Great people, and super happy about it. Coming up on Black Friday, I mentioned earlier, there is a Black Friday sale at Digital Press Games up in Clifton. I'm gonna go hit that up. There, everything in the store that's pre-owned is 33% off. So hopefully we can find something fun. You know, there still are a few things that I'm looking for. At very least, I'm sure we'll pick up a couple NES games or something. Or, dude, if they have Famicom games, I'm going to clean them out. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back in a couple days, so I'll see you next time.